if you'd asked me at the beginning of the year, that's kind of what I thought our team was going to be like. We had stretches of, just too many guys at the wrong time, not playing well. We've just started working on our process. Just these are the things that we can do that are repeatable success, and we just continue to work on that process to try to get better one day better today than we were yesterday.
Talk about getting this group to buy in defensively. It looks like now they understand that they can create offense by playing strong defense first.
Yeah, I think that for us, it's about playing as five. Connected hockey, because you're going to have things that go wrong, but when you're all there, you can get a stick on it, and you can find a way to clear pucks in a different area. So, and on top of it, I thought Benny has played great, down the stretch and really kind of come into his own.
Do you feel this game was a good prep for presumably Minnesota State next weekend, given that Minnesota State and Tech have a similar style of play?
Yeah, very much so. I think there's some things that we got to be aware of, but also I think there's some things we did tonight that might be able to give us some success again next weekend.
Coach, I never thought, especially at the end of January, I'd be asking you, hey, how does it feel to the CCHA championship? But here we are. What happened between the end of January and now?
I think we came together as a group. It was never athletically, we were never incapable of doing it. We got 30 players in that room, all pulling the same direction, and that's it's when you have good players and you get them all together, it allows you to have success.
And before the game, was sometimes road teams say, hey, let's weather the storm here first 10 minutes. Were you like that, or were you like, hey, let's go get them,
Let's go get them. That's who we are. Let's go get them. It's how we've always been.
Your roster is a lot of seniors now who would have been around for that 2018 loss for the CCHA or the WCHA championship. Do you feel like that added an extra chip on their shoulder to come to Tech's barn and take it away from them?
Yeah, I didn't talk about it once this week, but they're fully aware of, and that playoff series, it started the tilt. It's been very lopsided in their favor, and it started in that playoff series. So, hopefully this can kind of get us back on the right side of this rivalry.
Was your message earlier on this week saying, guys, don't look at the past, don't look at the regular season, we got one game in front of us?
Yeah, I think we were excited. Guys were excited when the matchup came out. Here's what's crazy. We were one game away from being a road playoff team, and we clinched a home ice on Saturday, the last regular season game of the year, and we've been at home for 2 weeks. So we haven't had to travel, and when the matchup came out that we were getting them, we were at home then, and I think that's going to pay dividends for us hopefully next weekend, because we haven't been beaten up and road weary.
The last 4 seasons has kind of been a goalie carousel, and then you finally get Benny into net here, who's looking to be pretty much a Tolvanen replacement, more or less. How does it feel to actually have that one guy you can rely on now, even though you not have to split the load or not knowing who you're going to get every weekend?
Well, I think it goes probably back to about his 3rd or 4th game. He gives you confidence, and obviously if I feel it, the players feel it too, and moments aren't too big for him. He's just, like I said, he's kind of come into his own now.
You've got several players with 20 points or more, yet it's rather than Van Unen who gets the first goal by going to the net, it's Michael Van Unen who gets a goal by driving on the defender and making a nice play to get around the other. Talk about getting production out of players that aren't your traditional stars in order to keep moving forward in the playoffs.
Yeah, you need depth scoring, and I think it's probably more important at times than your top guy scoring, because sometimes they just cancel each other out, and then when you have some depth that can, especially early in the game, all of a sudden, you hear a guy score his, fourth goal or whatever it is, as the opposing coach, it's like, geez, fourth goal of the year, so it can be, it's going to give us a boost and, can sometimes affect the other team too.
DeMay gets hooked, gets a penalty shot. Why did you opt for the shot over the power play, given that you already scored a goal from the power play previously, I guess?
Because I was a player, and if I had a penalty shot and the coach took it away from me, I would not have been happy. So
Okay.
I will always take the penalty shot.
What's your message to the fan base, some of them making the trip up here and talk to them?
It was unreal. They were unreal. I came out for warm-ups just to see where our band was and saw our band up there. We could hear our band all game, and then after the game, there's a suite over in the corner full of fans. That whole section's full. You can hear them doing our chants in the game. It was the most we've ever had in the building, for this game, and they were loud, and it was fantastic.
And second trip to the CCHA championship in 3 years. Talk about that a little bit.
I've been fortunate enough to coach this team for 6 years. This is the third time we've been to that game, and first 2 times I thought we played tight. I really, really want to get this team another, continue the season. I said it to Byron before the game. I said, I'm not ready to be done with these guys yet. I like this team too much, and I sure hope we can continue it. And for me, it's not about winning the championship. Like, that's going to be the byproduct of it. But I want to get some more time with these guys. I think we're kind of starting to get to our game, and I'm not ready for it to be done.
After the win tonight, does that kind of NCAA regional idea kind of creep into the players' minds and into your mind, saying, "Oh, we can actually do this. We can play spoiler for somebody on the bubble right now"?
No, we could care less about anybody else's bubble. It's about us trying to continue to extend our season.
Unbelievable, honestly. I needed to get my game up too, and there was a stretch in December and January where I wasn't performing the way I should have, and coach let me know too. We had a couple of great meetings with him, and or not so great meetings for us, but it got the job, it got the message through to us that we can do this. He trusts us, the whole coaching staff trusts us, and we just need to get the job done in a way that we work hard in practice and we translate that to games.
Talk about the start tonight. Tech comes out, pressures you quite a bit early in the first couple of minutes. Then you guys get a goal. Do you feel at that point it's a little bit of relief that, okay, we're in the game now and we can play our game?
Yeah, it's always nicer when you get the first goal and the other team has to chase the game from behind. But on the other hand, there's a feeling that this is Tech and this is a semifinal and this is the CCHA semifinal, and we got our butt kicked here twice this year. So there's that feeling kicking in every time, and especially playing these guys, especially because of the rivalry and how much this means for them and for us too. And so I don't think we ever took our feet off the gas, and we just kept going from the first to the 60th minute, and that's it.
This is your first year of college hockey, and you've probably played your most important game so far. How has it been transitioning to that American hockey and that playoff environment versus any ties with Europe and everything?
I think it took me all August, September, probably first half of October, but I still feel like I'm still adjusting to the game and to the speed and to the passes and how great the players are here and how much faster the game is, in a way that the shots, they don't always look where they're shooting, they don't always look where they pass in. They're just, I don't want to say a lot smarter, they are just more mature in a way that they play hockey, and that shows on the ice.
Talk about your second period. You made 19 saves in that period. What was working for you that you were able to get into positions to make the saves?
I feel like the whole week was made for us in a way to make us the best on Saturday by the coaching staff. We had a day off. We traveled early. We were here yesterday. We practiced here. This was our third time on the ice in 2 days here at MAC. So that was huge for us, and we were able to get our like for me personally, I was able to get my angles right. I was able to see the puck better because of that. I was just ready for the backboard, how bouncy it was. So, yeah, it was just a great progress the whole week leading up to this point.
From January basically till now, NMU's really turned it around in terms of play and especially defense. How has that been from your perspective since you're behind these guys? You have to bail them out if something goes wrong. Has that been nice to see that your forwards are back checking, your defensemen are able to get there and block pucks?
You know, it's always from my side and from their side too. So I bail them out, but they bail me out too a lot of times too. So obviously it's been great the last stretch of the season so far, and we just have to keep it going. And I'll do my job, and they'll do their job for sure.
I got to go back 3 weeks. It was end of January. It wasn't good, but was it the Ferris series that kind of turned things around?
The home series against
Yeah.
Ferris, that definitely showed our group that we can score. It wasn't from my perspective. I played poorly that weekend, honestly, and but I didn't have to play good because we scored 19 or 18 goals that weekend. So that kind of gave the confidence for our forwards and D that we can score, we can make plays in the ozone, and they've just been going up.
And on top of it, I mean, there were 2 shorthanded goals
Yep.
in the series. So
Yep.
that's why I always go back to that weekend. Was that like the
You know, we always work on offense and defense, obviously, like every other team, and that week just everything clicked, and we've been just working on the little details ever since, and it's just been working for us.
thoughts on just your overall thoughts on your teams going to the CCAG championship?
I know what happened last year there. I know how bad it must have felt for our guys, and for our seniors. We just want to give a chance to get revenge and do our best there.
Does it help you that you have some of the best offensive talent in the league when you're trying to practice and get everything going for you during the weekend?
Are you talking about Joey Larson, AJ Vanderbeck, Andre Gantus, Mikey Colella, or anybody, or David Kiefer, Christoph Papp, Schlein, or I don't know what guy.
Jay, all of the above?
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we do have a lot of good players, and I do get scored on a lot in practice.
Talk about what it means to you as a freshman, behind this experienced group. That's not always an easy thing. So how do you feel like things are coming along for you at this point?
They are seniors, sophomores, and juniors too. Like, they helped me and the other freshmen a lot this year to adopt and to feel like a part of the team, even for players who don't get as many minutes as players who do. So I feel like we're just very tight, and we're just not ready to end the season just yet.
You've been against the upper echelon of goalies in the CCAJ these past couple weeks. You have Giesbrecht from Ferris, who you guys were able to take to the net. You had Scholl last week. You have a Mike Richter finalist and Blake. Does your counterpart on the other side of the ice ever give you any second thoughts or say, hey, I need to step it up or prove to them that I'm just as good as them?
Yes and no. Yes, I want to beat every single goalie in the league just as bad as they want to beat me, and I don't like these rankings. Who's the best goalie or who's not. Obviously, congrats to Blake for the nomination, and that's huge for the CCAG and huge for Tech and for him too. And but we have a lot of good goalies in this league. Rancier is just as good as these guys, and we'll do our best against him too.